Hello, good morning, and welcome back. My name's Don Arleth, and it's time for World News, live from Warsaw. More than 500 buildings in Kyiv remain without heating, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said in his nighttime address. Zelenskyy also extended condolences to the friends and family of the 12 miners killed in Dnitropetrovsk on Sunday after a Russian drone struck a bus carrying them home from work.
In the Dnipro region, in Ternivka, in the Pavlograd district, there was a strike by Russian drones on a regular coach, a bus which was carrying miners. Unfortunately, there are a lot of casualties. My condolences to all relatives and friends. The emergency situation in Kyiv is ongoing. More than 500 residential buildings are without heating. Repair works are still going on. Each day, irrespective of the situation, this is hundreds of buildings. Whether there are strikes or no strikes, all the same, hundreds of buildings without power. This means that work carried out in the city is not enough. I got a report from the Interior Ministry on support and warming points in Kyiv. More people are now turning to them, and in several districts, additional warming points are being erected. Hot meals are distributed. All who need this support will get it.
As Russian strikes continue to target Ukraine's energy infrastructure, leaving millions without power and freezing temperatures, the Archdiocese of Krakow has decided to help and donated all of its parish's charity drives to help Kyiv. Speaking to TVP World's sister channel Slava TV, Cardinal Grzegorz Ryś, the Archbishop of Krakow, said we cannot remain indifferent to such large-scale suffering.
Over the past week, over €280,000 has been transferred to our Caritas Catholic charity organisation's account. And we've already spent nearly €240,000 on power generators and food, which have already reached Kyiv. They arrived on Thursday and Friday. So we've spent almost €240,000 on aid for Kyiv.
And Polish parishioners have been thanked for their generosity by the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church after donating money to help Kyiv. It comes as the city struggles amid freezing temperatures following repeated Russian attacks that knocked out the power supply. Archbishop of Kyiv, Galicia, Sviatoslav Szewczuk, thanked Polish parishes and dioceses on Sunday for a charity collection for Ukraine's capital city. Thousands of households in the Ukrainian capital remained without heating on Sunday in wake of recent Russian attacks on its energy grid. Archbishop Szewczuk also highlighted that 162 power generators, 846 electric heaters, and food aid had arrived in the city following a donation drive by the Archdiocese of Krakow's branch of the Catholic charity Caritas. The supplies have been already distributed to those in need. Convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein attempted to meet with Vladimir Putin and offered Russians information about Donald Trump on several occasions, according to case files published by the U.S. Department of Justice. The newly released documents suggest that Epstein had wide-ranging contacts with Russian government officials. Emails from 2011 and 2014 refer to plans for him to meet the Russian president. In a 2013 email, Epstein told former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, whom stayed in close touch with, that Putin had requested a meeting during the annual forum in St. Petersburg. In another email sent less than a month before Donald Trump's planned 2018 Helsinki meeting with Putin, Epstein asked former Norwegian Prime Minister Thorbjorn Jagland to help set up a meeting with Putin and claimed he could offer Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov useful insights. It remains unclear whether Epstein ever actually met with the Russian president. The release of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein point to a significant Latvian role in the convicted sex offender's activities, with Latvia described as one of the places from where the girls were recruited. In one email exchange, an anonymous sender wrote that he had received personal invitation from Latvia's prime minister to visit the country and quote-unquote say hello. The former Latvian Prime Minister Andris Bērziņš was in office in 2001 when the email was sent, has denied any involvement in the matter.
I haven't invited anyone to my place, especially not to come and say hello. Why would I need someone to say hello to? The text is kind of odd, so I won't be able to satisfy you with anything interesting. In my opinion, there's nothing interesting there. For now, I'm still of sound mind, even if I've gotten older, and I remember what I've done and what I haven't done. It's hard for me to comment on anything.
It's bitter cold in this part of Europe, and locals and tourists alike were treated to a rare view of a frozen sea on the coast of Poland over the weekend. This comes as extremely cold conditions sweep the country. Saturday and Sunday saw Poland's lowest temperatures this winter, reaching as low as minus 22 degrees Celsius in some regions, including the north. The freezing temperatures have caused the Bay of Gdansk, located in the south of the Baltic Sea, to freeze, creating a unique view that amazed those who decided to happen to walk by this weekend. President Donald Trump's comments during the Davos Economic Forum, ruling out the use of force to acquire Greenland, brought relief both on the island and in Denmark itself. But experts say that annexation rhetoric and criticism of NATO allies have already strained ties. Sonia Gata-Biszczan reports from Copenhagen.
In the aftermath of the World Economic Forum in Davos, the people of Denmark and Greenland breathed a sigh of relief, at least regarding the fact that the United States President Donald Trump said that he would not use force to acquire Greenland, semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. And while that is a positive development, some experts note that Trump's talk of annexation to date already caused lasting damage.
In terms of U.S.-Danish Greenlandic relations, those have been completely destroyed for decades to come. I think there's this sense in Denmark and Greenland of resentment and disillusionment and a feeling of betrayal. And I think, especially if you take a look at Denmark, Denmark used to be, along with the United Kingdom, one of the most pro-U.S. countries in the world and in Europe, and for this crisis to unfold like it has, I think has just been a major blow.
The relations between the U.S. and Denmark took another hit some days ago when Donald Trump said that NATO allies held back from the front line in Afghanistan. In response, Danish veterans held a silent march on Saturday in Copenhagen because they said they lacked words to illustrate how much it hurts to see that their contributions in what they describe as the fight for peace, freedom and democracy seem to be forgotten in the White House.
I think it's disrespectful. He's not telling the truth. He's changing the history, and he can't change the history. He can just look in history books and then he'll know we were there.
When it comes to the Danish contribution to Afghanistan, it needs to be said that the Danes went to Helmand region in Afghanistan, among other places, one of the most violent and unstable areas of Afghanistan, and suffered some of the most horrendous casualty figures of all the allies in Afghanistan.
Following Donald Trump's statements regarding NATO allies, 44 flags were placed in front of the United States Embassy in Copenhagen to commemorate the 44 Danish soldiers that were killed in Afghanistan. The flags were then removed, reportedly by the U.S. Embassy's personnel. And how did it make you feel to see the flags removed in front of the U.S. Embassy?
I feel a little offended, I think.
I think somebody was ordered to move the flags, and then they figured out it was a mistake, a big mistake, when they found out who the flags were for.
Having seen the damage that this caused, the U.S. ambassador reportedly reinstated them there himself. From Copenhagen, for TVP World, I'm Sonia Gata-Biszczan.
The world-famous Venice Carnival kicked off on Sunday with a water parade through its Grand Canal. With the Winter Olympics in Italy just days away, the festival launched under the theme Olympus. As is tradition, the parade was led by Pantagana, a giant papier-mâché rat perched atop a gondola, a long-standing symbol of the carnival. The two-week festival attracts tourists from all over the world, with visitors flocking to the city to enjoy traditional music, parades, and don the event's iconic masks. The streets of Prague became a stage for a growing political crisis as tens of thousands of demonstrators rallied behind President Petr Pavel. At the center of this unrest is his rejection of a controversial nominee for environment minister, a move that has triggered accusations of blackmail and widened divisions inside Czech politics. Diana Skaya brings us the details.
Chanting fills Prague's Old Town Square. Thousands of demonstrators marching under one clear banner and one clear message: "We stand with the president." The rally comes as tensions inside Czech politics have reached a boiling point. These protesters are backing Czech President Petr Pavel, who is now locked in a dispute with Foreign Minister Petr Macinka. At the heart of the conflict, President Pavel's refusal to appoint MP Filip Turek as Environment Minister, a decision that has since sparked a major political showdown.
His name is Filip Turek, who is well known for having actually published various Nazi statements, or basically he's a totally discredited character. And the president, Petr Pavel, who is kind of the last remaining person who is normal in Czech politics, basically has been saying that he is not going to accept this Filip Turek into that ministerial post.
On Tuesday, the president went public. He accused Foreign Minister Petr Macinka of attempting to blackmail him through late-night text messages sent via an advisor. The presidential office later released the messages. Macinka denies the accusations, calling the texts normal political negotiation. But the dispute has widened.
Babiš, Macinka, and Okamura are a danger to the entire Czech Republic, and that is why we are here to support Milion Chvílek.
Organized by the civic group Milion Chvílek pro demokracii, A Million Moments for Democracy, its supporters say they are defending democratic values, the rule of law, and the Czech Republic's place in the European Union.
Why are we here today? We are here to stand up against cronyism, arrogance, and blackmail.
The president's direct election by voters, rather than parliament, is now central to the debate.
I mean, Macinka shouldn't be in any position of influence. One other interesting thing, if I may, he is connected to the former Czech Prime Minister Václav Klaus, who is now incredibly pro-Russian. And Macinka has been making various pro-Russian steps.
The dispute also reveals deeper divisions over foreign policy. President Pavel strongly supports military aid to Ukraine. The government remains much more skeptical.
The country is full of people who are now saying, "We have had enough."
Where Czech politics goes next will highly depend on just how much power the streets and the presidency can ultimately hold. For TVP World, I'm Diana Skaya.
The 2026 Grammy Awards ceremony took place on Sunday, hosted by South African comedian and former Daily Show host Trevor Noah. American pop icon Lady Gaga won the Best Pop Album category for Mayhem, which includes the international hit Abracadabra. Rappers Kendrick Lamar and SZA took the prize for Record of the Year for their album Luther. Puerto Rican sensation Bad Bunny, who won the Best Musica Urbana album category, used the opportunity to criticize the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration. The anti-ICE message was prominent at the ceremony, with several celebrities calling out the immigration crackdown while on stage, and many more wearing the ICE out pins on the red carpet. And that concludes this edition of World News. Thanks for joining us, and stay with us for more here on TVP World.